Mr. Lester, Mayor Bert Steinman has presented a vision for Ewing's former GM site as a transit village, a residential and retail development with a train station, bus depot, and connection to the Trenton Mercer Airport. As a member of council, do you support or oppose the mayor's vision? Please explain why.
The GM site is a very sensitive subject in Ewing. It's a heavily polluted site. The DEP has been in and out of there. We just recently received $10.5 million from federal grants. I think that it's a topic that needs to be evaluated heavily. It needs to be ran through with a fine-tooth comb. I think a transit village is a rush to decision. I believe that Ewing Township was built on industry. And to get back on our feet, we need to develop that area in the matter of industry. But I also feel that the township residents in that area should have a voice also. If they feel industry doesn't belong there, then maybe they should have that 60% voice that is currently in the ordinances. It being such a sensitive topic, my personal opinion is Ewing Township was built solely by the GM and World War II plant. I think industry would bring us back on our feet. Jobs, more taxpayers, more homeowners. And to conclude my statement, I would have to review any and everything with a fine-tooth comb before I made any rash decision on the GM site.
Thank you, Mr. Lester. Ms. Keys-Maloney, it's your turn.
Good evening. Thank you all for coming this evening. Thank you, Dickon, for moderating. I actually do support the mayor's plan, both as a candidate and as chair of the redevelopment agency. The reality is that Ewing is at a crossroads, and we have a chance to move forward into the 21st century or remain as we are today. And merging the idea of a transit village with what's going on at the airport, in addition to what we can do kind of associated with Church and Dwight and FMC, are exciting things that will make Ewing the place that made me decide to stay after college. Just to give you a brief background, I came here actually as a College of New Jersey student and then ended up staying and stayed for the ensuing years. It's now my home. And so the reality is that I think we have the opportunity to move forward in new dynamic ways. I believe that merging the idea of a transit village with shopping, in addition to kind of the idea of the airport and a conference center, are some exciting nexi, if you will, that will make Ewing a destination community. And the reality is that we want to continue to attract the demographic that is the fastest growing in this community, which is 25 to 35. They're people like myself. They're the next generation of folks that will be part of this community for the next 50 years or beyond if their children decide to kind of reside here as well. And so it's an exciting time. I support the mayor's plan. I believe that community input has occurred on this and will continue to exist as we move forward with the plan itself. And I look forward to working with the mayor and the administration and the council, hopefully, as we embark on the new vision of Ewing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Keys-Maloney. Mr. Prykanowski.
I too would like to thank the Observer for doing this first ever community forum for our candidates. But most of all, I'd like to thank everybody that's in this audience, because it's because of you that we're up here. This is like comparison shopping, okay? You have 7 people. You're going to make your choice, which is the best 3 out of the 7. As far as the General Motors site goes, Transit Village is yesterday's thinking, in my opinion. There are better ways to address this. I think that what the Economic Development Committee should do, or the Redevelopment Committee should do, is take a holistic approach. They're talking about houses on top of stores. We have a 28% vacancy rate here in the Ewing Township. We don't need any more stores. We don't need any more competition. We need to build the stores that are here, help the businesses that are already here. More housing. We have over 300 houses that are vacant. And as I go door to door, I can show you, I've come across at least a dozen just by walking door to door. What we should first do is take a look at the train station and build a parking garage for them. If anybody's been there during the day while the people are going to Philadelphia, you can see what I mean. There's parking all over the place. We need to get some semblance of order there. The other thing we need to do also is get those ugly buildings down at the Warfare Center. The sooner they come down, the better off and the better chance we have of selling that entire project. And also start thinking about the infrastructure first before we start thinking about what we're going to put on there. And I see my time is almost up, and thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Prykanowski. Mr. Schroth.
Dick, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. Generally speaking, I enthusiastically support the mayor's concept of a transit village, and certainly the obvious need to redevelop the GM site and the naval warfare site. Right now, it's nothing. And to talk about putting manufacturing there is to literally go backwards, is to defy the reality of the way our economy is changing today. As jobs, manufacturing jobs, continue to go overseas, we have to be practical about this, and we have to ask ourselves what is best for this community. Certainly to create a transit village or a town center would be ideal for our community, and it would spur people to move into this community. It would spur economic development. It would spur housing being occupied that's currently vacant, and it would move us forward. To suggest that vacant housing is something that's unique and problematic to Ewing Township is to ignore the fact that we're in the midst of a national housing crisis right now. This is something that's going on everywhere. So we have to ask ourselves, what is it we can do to bring people here and to redevelop this community? And a transit village with mixed use that will bring businesses in will dovetail perfectly with, as Jennifer mentioned, Church and Dwight coming into the area, Computer Associates, the development that's going on out on Route 31, FMC, and other corporations that are interested in moving into this area as well. So we have a great opportunity here to capitalize on something that is totally, totally unique and cannot be created, and that's vacant land. It's either there or it's not. We have it. It is at the crossroads of Bucks County, the I-95 corridor, the Route 1 corridor, and it's a perfect idea that Mayor Steinman has to develop that. Now, we have a committee that is in Mr.
Schroth, thank you. That's
thank
fine.
you very much.
Okay. Mr. Steward.
I do thank everybody again, as everybody up here has already. Thank you for being here with us tonight and giving us the opportunity to speak to you this evening. The open space development at GM, I'm going to speak to you from the perspective of a homeowner who lives right behind that property for 61 years. I certainly embrace all the vision that has been talked about, whether it's a town square, Palmer Square, Rittenhouse Square kind of concept, transit village. There is certainly the airport, the railroad, the highways. It's a transportation hub, and I believe that we have the people that are going to be able to develop that properly. One of the concerns I have, though, is the infrastructure, and my Ron touched on it before. There's a feeling that we want Ewing to become a destination for the surrounding community, the Mercer, Bucks. But we certainly have to stay focused on building, rebuilding, and creating the supporting infrastructure, our roads, already at this point right now, without GM, without Parkway Avenue, without a proposed town center on Pennington Road. There is development that's going to happen in this township that's going to really take and push the community to the envelope, or to the, it's going to push the envelope. So I would ask, and I have been asking and telling the administration and the developers to please keep the community in mind. It's a place for the community, not outsiders. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Steward. Mr. Samil.
Thank you, Deacon Hyatt, and of course I want to thank the Observer for the opportunity to express to you where I stand on issues such as the question that's being asked. The idea of a transit village, in my mind and estimation, is something that is a pass-through. And of course I've said it to many members of the community already that I don't think that your township should be an area that we have traffic passing through the town, but we should have traffic coming into the town as a point of destination. But it takes a lot to get that done. And one of the things that I would say is not that I fully disagree with the mayor's idea, but when we talk about vision, what we're talking about is a collaboration of ideas. One idea is one idea. But I think when my position is, and it has always been, that we be inclusive and we involve ideas of everyone so that we can get the best results from whatever it is that we want to entertain as a economic initiative for this town. We do have the GM site that needs development. But with the collaboration of the state, perhaps the federal government, the county government, we have behind the GM site the Katzenbach School. And the Katzenbach School is in trouble. The state's been trying to get rid of it for decades, and it hasn't done so. And on the other side of town, we have the College of New Jersey that's looking for expansion. My idea is, why don't we engage these entities coming into our town to develop, if you will, a strategy where the college could come into a western section of our town, maybe a TCNJ West, and develop some construction and some property on the Katzenbach School side that would help evolve this town into what we want when we talk about vacant houses and this kind of thing, to make the community all part of the solution, rather than thinking that one idea is going to get us to where we would like to go.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samil. That's all the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, please hold your applause until the end of the forum, please. Thank you. Mr. Baxter?
Good evening. Thank you, Dickon, and thank you all for coming. We appreciate this. I've listened to everyone's opinion, but I'll stay on point with the question, and I do agree with what the mayor is trying to get accomplished at the GM site. I mean, we've done, I believe he's had 2 town forums to get people's opinions on it. I also know that there's many professionals that are more qualified than I that study traffic, study infrastructure, and understand the dynamics of putting such a project together. I also understand from the planner that it's a fluid plan, that it's a layout of an idea. And as things change or things develop, we still have these plans in place, but that can hold it and be accountable for whatever decides to go there. I think the mixed use is a great idea. I mean, Ewing is a destination town. Ewing is on the rise. I mean, I don't know if you've been around lately, but there's a lot of buzz going on in Ewing, and people are coming to Ewing. So why not have housing as well as development and retail, which is manufacturing that will create jobs? We also have other economic development opportunities here in the town which are bringing jobs to the town. So overall, these new homes will help those first-time professionals, I mean young couples who can't afford some of these houses. Although they're vacant, they still have a nice price tag on them. We also understand that there's a lot of people still renting these properties. I mean, it's unfortunate the nation is going through a crisis with the housing, and we do have some vacancies, but many of them are being rented out. So I think the GM site is our jewel, and it's something that we can be proud of, and if it's laid out correctly, the next 50 to 60 years, generations to come will benefit from it, and it will definitely put Ewing even bigger on the map. And when we speak about Ewing, we should always say Ewing and stop talking about different sections. Thank you.